Trekcast.
The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
He's dancing like the gopher from Groundhog Day or Caddyshack.
Caddyshack, there you go.
Yeah.
Love it.
What's going on?
Good morning. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I am just peachy. Welcome to Trekcast, everyone, the galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
Just like that.
I'm Scott. This is Daniel. So we're doing a supplemental. You want to tell us a little bit about what's going on?
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about Batman: The Caped Crusader. It's the new animated series, the spiritual sequel, they're saying, to the original Batman animated series. Very similar vibes, but and a lot of the same team behind it, but definitely different. It's
Different.
It's not a sequel series. It's nothing like that. But it's also got a lot of different producers that you know of. J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, Bruce Timm, who did the original series. So, we will be talking about it. We'll be talking about the first two episodes at least. That's all I've seen, at least.
Yeah, I just finished up the second episode this morning. So
okay, perfect.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams, we know him from somewhere, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
He did. He's done quite a few things, but specifically the updated Star Trek movies from 2009 on. So,
yep.
And currently still trying to do the fourth film, apparently, or at least the studio is. I don't know about him, but yeah.
Well, it's always fun to talk about that one, at least once every other week.
Right. There's always someone saying, "Hey, we'll do it." Just yeah.
But, so,
how was your week, Scott?
Doing good, doing real good. Looking forward to some upcoming projects coming out of Hollywood, and
nice.
there's a lot of. I got a dog barking in the background, and
I hear it. Yeah.
So,
my Dan and Dan's not here today.
Right. Yeah, my son had his birthday party over the weekend, so he's excited about that. Yeah, he just became a teenager, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now I have two teenagers. One that just became a teenager, and one just going off to college here in a couple weeks.
Wow.
So,
it's quite the age gap right there.
Yeah, it is. Yep. About 5 years. So.
Yeah.
But things are good. Things are good.
That's cool.
How about you?
Good so far. We also have a birthday coming up this week for my nephew. So
awesome.
It's kind of funny for him because his birthday is also his parents' anniversary. So, and it's a milestone.
That can be kind of weird. Like you got to balance, it's like having two birthdays at the same time, or a birthday next to like Christmas or Easter.
Yeah. So, but it's a weird event where, so it's his birthday, it's their anniversary. It's also like right around the same time for the grandparents' anniversary. So all the family on that side of the family, my brother-in-law's side of the family, are coming into town to celebrate the parents and all that.
A lot going on.
And
right.
So my nephew, the little guy's really excited because all of his cousins will be there for his party. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, so
awesome.
He's excited about that. So
yeah. Right
so,
on.
Yeah. But we should get into the Star Trek news because there's some crazy stuff going on.
Yes, there is. Let's do it.
Star Trek news.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. I accidentally hit it.
That's okay. I just said, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So our first news story, we might as well get into it because it's a thing people were buzzing about on the internet, and technically not Star Trek, but it kind of is. The Orville season 4. It was announced. Yeah, it was announced at STLV, which is currently going on, that the Orville season 4 is slated to start production, at the beginning of the year. Well, is it? So this comes to us from a fan event at STLV, Star Trek Las Vegas. Scott Grimes, who plays one of the I forget the name of his character on the show. It's been a while.
Malloy.
Okay.
Gordon Malloy.
Gordon Malloy. Okay. So he plays the actual actor. Scott plays in a band. The band was performing at STLV. So that's where we got this information. Apparently from the stage, he said, "Hey guys, thanks for all the support. And we're coming back for season 4 starting next year." People got excited.
It's a bold statement.
Yeah. People got excited thinking, hey, we're going to start filming next year. But the official Orville podcast has since come out, and they posted on Reddit and a few other places that, hold on, people, it's not that production starts next year in 2025. It's that they begin the ramp up to production. So starting next year, it's building the sets, making the costumes, script writing, all of that.
There's another word for that. It's not production. It's
pre-production.
Pre-production.
Yes.
So
that's the term. Yeah.
Technically, I mean, I look at if they're going to start production, a lot of people automatically assume filming, but production doesn't start with filming. Production starts with writing scripts and getting ready and signing deals and right. Like he said, building sets and stuff. So it's a long way out. We're not going to see it in 2025, I don't think. No.
I would say early 2026 or late or mid, somewhere in there at the earliest.
Yeah. I'm thinking summer of 2026. I bet they're gonna put it out there as like a lull, like a summer lull kind of show.
Yeah, probably. That sounds about right. So yeah, it's really not that far away, but it is at the same time. It's not as quick as people would like. So
but it's more than likely happening.
First, Ted season 2 needs to begin. That's the other thing, which Scott Grimes is part of. So he's going to be busy.
Oh, that's
himself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Seth MacFarlane is a busy guy.
Yeah. He's got to make that money, baby.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard he throws like the most ridiculous like Christmas parties, and he lives up. So I used to listen to the Adam Carolla podcast, and him and Adam Carolla are friends. Adam Carolla used to voice Death on Family Guy.
That's right.
And so he would tell stories, and he would have Seth MacFarlane on. And I guess Seth MacFarlane has this giant mansion on the top of the hill in Hollywood. And he would throw these he'd call them little Christmas parties, but he'd have like live bands and like open bars and, have the best Hollywood caterers, in the land. So,
well, I mean,
he's doing all right.
Yeah. He's got a few coins. He's all right.
Yep.
He'll survive. So yeah. So that's the big update on the Orville, everyone. Just wanted to let you know about that. Speaking of conventions, so yes, STLV is going on currently. Not a lot of news coming out of it, but we are still learning more news that came out last week from from San Diego Comic-Con. And one of the big updates is coming to us from trekmovie.com. And we are learning a little bit more about Starfleet Academy, including that it's going to be a new format for the show. And that Holly Hunter will feel very different as a captain. So these are all nebulous terms that mean whatever you want them to mean.
Sure.
The new format is interesting because I don't know what they mean by that. In the panel, Alex Kurtzman's mentioned that the show will focus on the cadets, but also like the staff and the people running Starfleet Academy. So I wonder if the hybrid model that he means is like we'll focus on the adults and we'll focus on the kids.
I've been trying to read into that a little bit too, and the more I do a little more research on Academy, the more I'm starting to look forward to it a little bit. And because we weren't all that excited when they announced it, because it's set in the 33rd and a third century or whatever. And I think now with the casting, Tig Notaro and Tilly and Holly Hunter's great. I think they got some talent that can pull this off. As far as the format,
Paul Giamatti's in there.
Paul Giamatti. As far as the format, though, this is supposed to have kind of a less serious tone, right? This is supposed to be more, I don't know, a little bit lighter.
So we don't know that for sure.
Okay.
The one that's supposed to be more comedy and fun is that show that Tawny Newsome is working on. what we were saying is like Love Boat in space, right?
Okay, right.
That's going to be the comedy for sure, at least.
So I'm
This one-
thinking like the format. I'm thinking, and I wouldn't mind this, more of like Modern Family.
Yeah, they could. That's kind of what I thought too. Where like they had the confessionals where the characters talk to the camera and kind of say their opinion of what's going on.
Yeah,
I mean, that's possible. Format can mean just about anything, right?
sure.
So
It could be writing style, it could be storytelling style, it could be
right. So it's very nebulous. There's also people have taken this and ran with it that Paul Giamatti is going to be playing a Klingon because in the interview, he had in a past interview he had mentioned that he wanted to play a Klingon, and then I guess in the panel, Alex Kurtzman said, "Oh, that's funny that you mentioned that," and then they called him up, and so we were like, "Oh, so he's going to play a Klingon in Starfleet Academy." From what I can tell, that's not confirmed anywhere that he's for sure a Klingon. We know he's a bad guy.
I just hope he's. I mean, is he gonna be like goofy bad guy? Is he gonna be like the Ferengi,
like the Rhino when he was the
villain?
Rhino,
like the Rhino? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about or maybe even his character from the movie Sideways, which was the second worst movie that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh man, screaming about the blood wine is not Merlot.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they should redo that movie and make the two lead characters Klingons.
There you go. There you go.
That's my spoof $1 million idea.
I would love that.
You hear me, Seth MacFarlane? Make it happen.
You can tell him the next time you go to one of his parties.
I will. I'll let him know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right.
Looking forward to it.
Next story comes to us from what is this website? Radiotimes.com. And the bosses of Doctor Who and Star Trek are urging fans to keep campaigning for a crossover episode. So also during San Diego Comic-Con, both Russell T. Davis and Alex Kurtzman held a joint panel for the friendship they're calling between Doctor Who and Star Trek. And they urged fans, hey, keep making that fan art, keep making those fan fiction stories. We'd love to do a crossover at some time, but only you guys can push it over the hill and make that happen.
Right.
Which is weird because it's literally the two showrunners saying it's your guys', yeah.
Yeah, keep it up.
It's on you.
It's all on you.
Yeah. So
I've never seen a single episode of Doctor Who, so I guess I'll have to start watching it. And people have told me I can basically start at the beginning of any new Doctor.
Right. Yeah,
So,
just whatever one seems the most interesting to you, start there.
I think that's what I'll do.
Yeah, so it's goofy. I think they just want the online buzz for those franchises. So,
and sometimes these crossovers, they come into fruition, and we get the Lower Decks. We've seen a lot of Star Trek comic crossovers. I've seen Star Trek and X-Men crossovers in the comic books. So, and it generates a lot of buzz, and so sure, why not?
The very rare Star Trek and Golden Girls crossover.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for being a friend.
That's right. When Picard sang that to Riker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaz says you should start with 2005 Doctor Who. So.
Okay, Chazbiz.
Yeah.
All right. 2000. I'm writing that down right now. Doctor Who.
There you go.
2005.
All right. And our last news story comes to us from space.com. And guess what? We are getting a Lower Decks comic book series coming this fall. We've had like short runs, like a limited series of Lower Decks. But apparently now we're going to get a full-on comic book. So that's cool. Sometime this fall, it's coming out through IDW Publishing. And yeah, so if you want more Lower Decks, it's coming.
The nice thing about doing a comic book about an animated series is, like, I've seen comic books from like Next Generation. I'm looking at them like, why did they draw Worf like that? His ridges are huge, or
Yeah.
the Doctor doesn't have like literal orange hair. It's reddish. At least this way, when you're I would imagine from like previous comic books that their characters look exactly like they do on Lower Decks.
Yeah, because they're cartoons already. So
Right. So
yeah.
that won't be distracting.
No, not at all. But yeah, so that's all the news. We should probably get to our supplemental spotlight.
Let's do it.
See, I saved it this time.
Okay.
All right, so we were talking about, it just came out, the Batman Caped Crusader. It's available on Amazon Prime, I believe worldwide. It is an animated series. 10 episodes have been released all at once, but we're just talking about the first 2 episodes. First, let's start with before we get into the story. We did get a new Batman voice, Hamish Linkletter, who was replacing longtime voice Kevin Conroy, who I believe originally was voicing Batman for this show, but he passed, and so they had to do everything with Hamish. What do you think of the new Batman voice?
I liked it. It was fine. The Batman voice is fine. It didn't seem out of place. It's kind of hard. I didn't watch a ton of the animated series.
Okay.
And so when I hear somebody other than Kevin Conroy voice Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, it doesn't throw me for a loop like it does some people.
Right.
So I've heard different, iterations, different voices for Batman, and for the most part, they're almost all just fine. Yeah. Lego Batman, fine, didn't bother me at all. So yeah. Other choices were.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that for sure.
It's also, according to IMDb, it's also available for streaming on Freevee. So with that platform, you probably have commercial interruptions, but
yeah, that's Amazon's free video service. So
okay, so if you don't have Amazon Prime, check it out over there.
Yeah. So this is designed very much in a similar way to the original animated series, but they're not connected at all. It's its own thing. I don't think it's connected to any of the films. Doesn't look like it, even though it's a similar time period for the Matt Reeves Batman to this Batman. They're both early in their career. They're both, kind of loners and independent and all that. But yeah, the first episode is probably the one that's got the most people talking, where they made a giant change. It was called In Treacherous Waters, and we got the debut of our Penguin.
Yes, we did.
And what actor did they get to voice Penguin? Well, Academy Award winner Minnie Driver, because Penguin is a girl now.
Penguin is female.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So this has made the internet. Some people don't care. Some people are really against it, and everywhere in between. What were you at with it, Scott?
Before I talk about my opinion on a female Penguin, we should probably keep going and talk about other characters, because at first I was like, what the heck is this? This is weird. And then as they kept going, I'm like, oh, they're making all kinds of changes. So I'm fine with it. Whatever. There's one particular character, and it's not who probably anybody thinks I'm thinking of, that I thought they did dirty.
Who's that?
Well, before we talk about that, like, let's talk about some of the other changed characters that they made. Some minor changes.
Sure.
They made the Gordons, Jim and his daughter Barbara, black. Totally fine with that. I loved Jeffrey Wright in The Batman. I thought he played an awesome Jim Gordon. So that change doesn't bother me. Yeah. The female Penguin, it seems like they just kind of wanted to do stuff for just change it for change's sake, which is fine with me. I don't care. I can deal with the female Penguin.
Yeah.
If you can bring up a picture of Alfred Pennyworth.
Oh yeah.
They did him dirty. They made him Alfred. When we think of Alfred Pennyworth, we think of somebody either tall and slender or tall and sort of a decent build. But he's definitely capable. Even though he's older, he's always been capable, slender, sophisticated. They turned him into. He looks like he could become the Penguin.
He's Mr. Belvedere.
Yeah, he's totally Mr. Belvedere, and they totally did him dirty. Like he looks like just kind of like fat, pudgy. You know, I didn't like him at all.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
female Penguin, that's fine. Black Gordon's totally love it. But yeah, that dude looks like he could turn into the Penguin.
Yeah, looking like Mr. Belvedere.
Right. Yeah, he's kind of short, pudgy, bald. Didn't like it at all.
You know,
and I didn't like him. I didn't like it.
I really didn't care about that myself because I don't know. In the cartoons, Alfred is more just emotional support and gives some one-liners. That's it.
I thought it was weird that Bruce called him Pennyworth.
Yeah, Jasmine, he needs Ozempic.
oh, and Ozempic.
Maybe this Alfred stress eats. Batman's out there in the world and he's
true.
Worried about him, and he's just
he just spots him. He doesn't actually work out with him.
That's right. Digging into that Haagen-Dazs,
And he called him Pennyworth, not Alfred. That struck me as weird too. I don't know if there's any other iterations where he constantly calls him Pennyworth, but I mean, you've known the dude for.
I know. In some of the cartoon movies, Damien would call him Pennyworth quite often, and very disrespectfully.
Right, because they don't have that connection.
Yeah. So.
All right. Whatever.
Yeah.
Storyline.
So what was the storyline in the first episode? Basically that
the Penguin's kids.
Yeah, that's interesting too, right? That the Penguin has kids.
Yep.
They're all bumbling idiots, and the Penguin is actually the real power broker of Gotham, running all the gangs and putting Falcone in check. And Batman had no idea that the Penguin existed. The Penguin is some sort of cabaret act on her, I don't know, casino boat, I guess.
That threw me off quite a bit.
The Iceberg Lounge is now a casino boat.
Yep. So they were having a fundraiser on the Penguin's yacht, and Bruce Wayne was there. Everybody from Gotham PD was there. I think it was a law enforcement, like it was like a ball, right? A fundraiser ball.
I guess. Yeah.
And so the main story behind episode 1 is somebody is outing the Penguin, and she doesn't know who, and she's trying to figure out. And somebody sort of whispers in her ear, "Hey, it's your one of your kids." And her reaction was like, "Oh, it's one of my kids. Supposedly a kid that I brought into this world and just suddenly betrayed me."
And that she loves, apparently, because she
loves, and then bam, just straight up murders them. And then later on, Penguin, it turns out that you killed the wrong kid. Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna kill the other one.
Right.
What psychopath?
I mean, part of it too is it's a cartoon, right? So like
I know
they don't have a lot of time to delve into the psychological depths of what it's like killing your own child for your gains,
of course. Right? Yeah. The writers are psychopaths too.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I get what they wanted to do. It to me, it felt like making the Penguin female was a bone for cosplayers. Something for that to sell different action figures. Now you got the girl Penguin, that kind of thing. But the structure of the actual character, the way she operated and all that, I feel like you could have created a new character, right?
Right.
To me, it could have been, I don't know, just throwing it out there. There doesn't have to be this, like Mama Bear, right? And she's got her cubs, right?
Yep.
And so she's ferocious, and she even calls the kids like kind of that 60s vibe that a new character for that. I
Sure,
don't know.
sure.
Whatever.
No, yeah,
yeah.
they went in a
It-
weird direction. They
Yeah,
certainly
I mean,
did.
it's fine that it's the Penguin. That doesn't bother me. I'm just saying you had an opportunity, right?
Right.
Um,
And I know it sounds like I'm kind of crapping on these 2 episodes, and
Yeah.
I kind of am. And it should be noted, the internet is loving the series.
yes, absolutely. And I will say for me, the second episode was a big uptick in
It was.
Yeah.
Yep, it was better. It was
Yeah,
better.
I liked it a lot. That's where we got our Clayface.
Yes.
And a much different Clayface than what we've seen before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This was more akin to I think some of the original comics. Basil Karloff is Clayface, and yeah, there he is. He's not the big hulking clay monster that we've seen before in the animated series and in other films.
Nope.
He's just a guy who can change his face. He's very sinister. The backstory is that he is an actor who just was tired of, he was typecast as a certain type because he was looking like a bad guy and didn't want to be a bad guy all the time.
Right.
So, yeah. He
was Gary Busey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not very attractive, fairly decent actor, but just not very attractive. And he wanted to, look better. So
yeah. And it just did not work out for the guy. And then he realized that villain was the role he was born to play. And he's trying to kill people at the studio that got in his way. And it's a little bit of more of a murder mystery too, because he is Clayface and he can pretend to be other people. So
yeah, it's got that changeling kind of depth to the story.
Yeah, so he's like tricking Batman. Apparently, Batman interviews him a couple times and doesn't realize it because he's playing different roles. So
yeah, at one point, like Batman falls and gets stuck underneath like a wall, and he calls Alfred, and he's like, you need to call 911 and let them know that I found the body of so and so. Oh yeah, Pennyworth. You need to call Pennyworth. You need to call 911. I found the body of so and so. Looks like he's been dead for a day. The problem is I just interviewed him an hour ago.
Right.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. But yeah, so with all that, Scott, will you keep watching the show? Will you watch the other episodes?
I'm on the fence, to be honest with you. It's not exactly my genre. It's got that noir style,
40s,
50s, 60s, not quite sure when it takes place kind of thing, which is the aesthetic is cool. But it's they've changed a lot of things. And like I said, I didn't watch Batman the Animated Series growing up. I've seen a few episodes. I liked it. I respect it. There's a lot of characters and actors came from it. Mark Hamill's the Joker. Kevin Conroy's performance. Harley Quinn was born in that series.
Right. So that was the other point I was going to make about like making Mama Bear instead. Like you created Harley Quinn, you could create another villain.
Right.
Yeah.
And I did a little reading up ahead. They're also going to introduce Harley Quinn in the show.
Very different, apparently.
Very different. From what I read, in previous iterations, Harley Quinn is the serious doctor who then becomes, she's Harleen Quinsley, and then she becomes Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn is this, goofy, character. Apparently, it's the opposite. She's goofy and nutty as Harleen Quinsley, and then when she becomes Harley Quinn, she's very serious and like super super dark. So that'll be an interesting.
Yeah, I read that too. It sounds kind of cool to me. I like the idea of a sinister Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I think I read the list of episodes and I noticed there was no Joker, which was kind of interesting. So I guess if we get a season 2, maybe we'll get a Joker. Maybe there's a tease for Joker and I don't know about it because
I haven't seen one.
Yeah,
but I wonder what kind of changes they're gonna make, for the Joker. Like, he's gonna be like,
Yeah, I wonder if it'll pull from Matt Reeves, because we've gotten that Joker tease already in the Batman. So will it be similar to that,
Right.
or will it be another completely different take?
That reminds me of a take I saw. I saw a fan-made film one time called it was just called Joker, and it was about the backstory to the Christopher Nolan Joker and how he came to be. If I find it, I'll post a link on our Facebook group.
Okay.
But it was just a much more serious, like there was no maniacal laughing. It was just him slowly becoming just crazy and evil. And I have a feeling that kind of backstory would fit, instead of the, crazy maniacal, Mark Hamill version, you have this sort of quieter, more dangerous, kind of. And I think that's an interesting, like,
there was the fan theory in the Nolan films that Joker was actually former special forces. That's why he knows how to use all this military grade equipment, and that's why he's so strategic. But he basically got PTSD in war, and that's why now he's just crazy.
Okay.
So you could bring that into this. Maybe Joker fought in World War II because that's the time frame, and now he's back suffering and just has lost it. That would be kind of interesting.
And no support if you have PTSD or a soldier coming home. It's called, back then it was called shell shock. So they could bring in that dynamic of a soldier, maybe a special ops, demolitions expert soldier that saw a lot of crap, and and it's all bottled up.
It would be interesting to add that take to a cartoon, right? Much less even. Yeah, that's a lot. That's pretty heavy for a cartoon, but
it is. But this is Batman, and this show already kind of shows a darker side. You have moms murdering kids, so
you got moms murdering kids.
It's gone dark.
Yeah, that train has already left the station, baby.
Right. Yeah, they've already done the scene, like what I was talking about before, where Batman is caught under a wall and he sees two dead bodies. They already did that shot where they show a fly walk up the face onto the eyeball and just chill out for a second, which is like yeah. So this is definitely the Dark Knight.
Yeah, for sure, the emotionally Dark Knight.
I'll probably finish it. You said it was what, 10 episodes?
There's 10 episodes total. They're all like 20 minutes each.
Yeah,
I'll probably finish it too. I don't know if I'm gonna like hurry up and get them all done, but like after the show, I'm gonna go make breakfast. I might watch an episode while I'm chilling out and eating, something like that.
Yep. Yeah. I agree.
But looks like we got Chazbiz waiting already, so let's get to feedback.
Listener feedback.
All right, so let's bring him in. There he is, Chazbiz.
Listener feedback.
That's right.
Listener feedback.
What up, Chazbiz?
Hello, Scott and Daniel.
Hello.
Where's Dan? Is Dan sleeping in today?
Yeah.
He had a special Space Force mission.
That's right.
Mission.
That's right.
Yep.
Hopefully that goes well. So
we're not allowed to talk about it. We're not even allowed to mention that he's on a special Space Force mission.
He's saving those dogs all the way.
He's saving
across
those
right.
across the planet.
That was him that my dog was barking at a little while ago.
That's like summoning. Yeah. So it's a long trip, from New York to Michigan. So, Chazbiz, what'd you think of Batman Cape Crusader?
I think I like your idea better, Daniel, than the way they casted the Penguin. I was like, I don't need the Penguin to be a cabaret dancer or singer.
Yeah,
I really didn't need that part.
That's fair.
I was like, I was like, really? I was like, you had all these good people that played the Penguin in the past, right?
Yeah,
Danny DeVito, Burgess Meredith, and
it was like Jessica Rabbit versus
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And you have the new Penguin show that's coming out on HBO.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that. That looks great.
And that looks really cool because it's going to be like a gangster show.
Yeah. I imagine Batman will show up like at the very last scene. Just, he pops up and that's it.
That series is so up in the air too because of James Gunn. If they're going to do another Batman,
right?
I mean, they were so far into doing the Penguin that they had to do it.
Yes,
but yeah.
Well, let's hope the Penguin does good that they can make a sequel to that because
I would love to see actually Batman.
Like that movie. So
yeah, me too. I want to see the rumors that are that Mr. Freeze will be the next villain.
Well, that'd be cool.
And then I've heard one of the theories out there is that if you want to do a more grounded Mr. Freeze, don't do that he needs to live in a cold suit, but there's like some sort of psychological issue that he loves the cold, or that it's Mr. Freeze that the psychological issue has a cold heart. And
so he goes into a Walmart and he's in the freezer section. And
that's right.
Into the cooler.
He's just eating frozen tater tots. He's talking about how he's got skills like nunchuck skills, bow hunting skills,
frozen peas, and
he starts attacking you with like cans of air that he holds upside down and squeezes them.
It's so cold.
It's so cold.
There you go.
It's your frostbite.
Yeah.
No, that's his canine companion.
Yeah, frostbite.
Frostbite, come here. See, we can come up with this crap.
Well, hey, you have Mama Bear, right?
Right.
And then you have the 3 cubs, and the 3 cubs could be Scott and his brother Dan and his other brother Daniel.
Yeah.
I just had a great idea. You see this scene where he's like Frostbite, come here, and the camera pans over and you see this great big white Siberian husky, and then the camera pans down to a Chihuahua.
There you go.
Or like Deadpool's dog.
Oh yeah.
It's ugly.
Oh, that was horrible.
But
spoof comic. So
yeah, are you gonna watch the rest of the episodes?
I was on 4.5 last night.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I watched the first 2 because you didn't specify how many episodes. So
yeah. Typically, it's for cartoons or whatever. We try to do 2.
The first 2, but it's I grew up with the other one, so
yeah. Me too. I remember
I watched it
every
day after school, and that was like one of my favorite shows. And this, I don't know, it's not. There's something different about it. I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, different animation style, but similar look. Yeah.
And the other question is, where's Batman? It's like
I can't wait for them to debut Clock King.
Yeah.
Oh, Clock King. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's like,
or the Riddler.
Or who?
The Riddler.
Oh, the Riddler.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Scarecrow and who else?
Anything else you wanted to bring up, Chazbiz?
Well, that was about it. I mean, I'll try to finish the series, see if it's any good. But I don't know.
Yeah, let the group know what you thought of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the action happens, people. If you're just getting to us, is in our Facebook group. It is there, and it's always
Is
busy.
Anybody in our group at Star Trek Las Vegas?
I know Darren's there because he lives there.
Right. Yeah. I saw some of the posts he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've seen pictures, but it just doesn't look as big as. I don't know if Comic-Con kind of spoiled things because it was the week before.
Yeah, Comic-Con was just so huge this year.
Yeah,
because
overshadowed.
Yeah,
I really wish Comic-Con would move to Vegas because it'd make it earlier to get to those venues. Because
there's talk that they're going to move it. There's talk that they're going to move it. So
they price gouged at Sanford or San Diego,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
you think they price gouge there? Wait till it gets to Las Vegas.
Well, Vegas. Vegas at least has ton of bars, ton of everything, hotels, entertainment.
It's true. That's true.
And
spicy ranches.
Spicy
yes.
ranches,
Yeah.
because
A lot of urgent care clinics, as I remember from going down there.
Yeah, I think you can legally get a Horgon.
I think
That's
Robert
right.
Meyer,
You
Robert
can
Meyer
speak
Burnett,
Dramadon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what was it? Robert Meyer Burnett was griping that it was $25 for a glass of wine. So
Oh God, it's going to be way more in Vegas.
yeah, so think of that.
God.
Like that is price gouging. So
Oh yeah, dude, it's like a bottle is like $3,000 in some places.
yeah.
So
Oh well, yeah, you can get a shot for $1,500, just a shot.
Which, just side rant. I have convinced myself that it's not that it's that amazing of a thing to drink. It's you have to convince yourself that it is. So
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of gross. Like it's ridiculous how much they charge for the drinks there.
Oh, for sure.
It's like because you see $1,500, you're like for one shot. And it's like that better be the best shot in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, Creation Entertainment, I think, is that the name of the company that's putting on all the Star Trek?
Yeah,
venues around the
just
country.
going all around the country. There's like a Nashville one. There was a San
And
Diego for San Francisco, and
you said
there's
Chicago.
one coming up in Chicago. I've been emailing back and forth with Ryan from he works at I think he works for Creation, Ryan Husk, and we're going back and forth. I'm trying to get some press passes so I can cover the Star Trek convention in Chicago in September.
Yeah,
so
that'd be awesome.
And it's that's going to be a larger venue than in Grand Rapids for the Comic-Con. So if there's anybody listening that is going to be thinking about going to the Chicago Star Trek convention, hit me up. Send me an email at strongbeard@gmail.com, and maybe we can figure out some sort of get together. We'll do a little Trekcast get together for that weekend.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. All right. Awesome. Well, I think that's pretty much wrapping up the show. It's a little bit slower, faster quicker
paced today.
Yeah.
Well, without Dan rambling on, I mean,
Dan's rants.
There you go. But we'll let you guys know if we're back next week. But just check the social medias, and also if you go to trekcast.com, there's our merch store too. We've got our shop ran by Chop Tees, so that's cool to check out too. There's some great stuff on there.
Love Chop Tees. They got a great selection on there. They've got really fair prices, and what you see on the prices is what you pay.
That's right.
No,
a lot of the countries it's free shipping, so it's great.
Yep. It's not just the US, so right.
Yeah. Most of the EU and Australia, I believe, and a few other countries.
Cool. That's why I liked when we went on our trip. There's no tipping because it's flat fee.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be here. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry. They still get their money.
That's right.
You get the flat fee. You're not shocked at the end and then you're like, dang it, I got a tip.
Right.
50, 20. And especially now how they have it set up. They have it like 20, 25, 30% on the little computer screens.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy.
And they're standing right there and they're like, you could tap either one and they just kind of look at you and you're like, man.
I saw.
Don't guilt me in this.
There's in Pasadena, there's a restaurant that's ran entirely by like a robot, and it has the little, do you want to tip the robot?
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Just say what it is. I mean, it's an extra fee because we have a robot here. Whatever. Just be honest with me.
Right.
And that's one of the things I like about Chop Tees. It's upfront pricing. Yeah. So, and they're quality T-shirts. When I got the T-shirt in, I have to wear 100% cotton, and they have 100% cotton T-shirts available. And sometimes when you order T-shirts from these companies, they're flimsy, and the stuff that the emblem is a little not so. These emblems are the T-shirts themselves, super high quality. I wear
soft or
very soft. They're soft. I love mine because I'm very particular about my T-shirts. Yeah, I'm very particular about my T-shirts.
Is very, very particular about that. He's very much about good quality for the merchandise. So
yeah, these are not going to fall apart in the wash because I wear mine a lot. So
yeah,
good stuff.
Absolutely. Cool.
Chop Tees.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Alrighty. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.
This is Captain Benjamin Sisko of Deep Space Nine and Space God to the Bajorans. I have a mission for you. This falls outside of Starfleet guidelines, so I can't order you, but I'm asking for volunteers. Volunteers who will subscribe to the Trekcast YouTube channel, leave 5-star reviews on your podcast app of choice, and share Trekcast across your social media accounts. If we can make our audience bigger, we might have a chance against the Dominion. Are you ready? Subscribe, like, and share. Are you with me?